Are your savings at risk of being wiped out? According to renowned economist Jim Rickards, it's not only a possibility, but a looming reality. In this video, we'll delve into the controversial Executive Order 14067 Section 4 and explore what it means for your hard-earned savings. Renowned author, lawyer, economist, and finance expert Jim Rickards has forecast the US dollar will falter in the wake of a new financial crisis that may be closer to reality than people think. The expert highlighted that while Russia and China have been purchasing gold at previously unheard of rates over the past 10 years, central banks have yet to fully recover from the previous crisis. Speaking to small caps, Mr. Rickards claimed that the global economy is still struggling to recover from the 2008 global financial crisis as a result of low interest rates and the inability of central banks to increase their balance sheets to pre-crisis levels. He added the world was completely unprepared for the next crisis, which will be far worse than the previous two. Ever wondered when the next financial crisis will be? Possibly in just a couple of years with the coming collapse of the international monetary system. It appears that Jim Rickards foresaw the US dollar's demise, the collapse of the economy, and the eventual $10,000 price of gold. However, in the summer of 2022, some social media users circulated posts claiming that US President Joe Biden had signed an executive order allowing the government to track and regulate citizens' income and spending and replacing cash with cryptocurrencies. A startling headline from the website Paradigm Press said, Biden orders US dollar replaced with trackable spyware version. According to Paradigm Press, Biden's decision was based on Executive Decision 14067, ensuring responsible development of digital assets, which was authorized by the Vice President on March 9, 2022. According to the alarming claim made in the Paradigm Press article, Section 4 of the decree essentially establishes a dystopian, authoritarian state by replacing cash with government-issued digital currency and reportedly authorizing the following. In fact, this provision sets the stage for legal government surveillance of all U.S. citizens, total control over bank accounts and purchases, and the ability to silence all dissenting voices for good. Order 1406 is the most treacherous action by a sitting president in our republic's history because of the language in Section 4. Because Section 4 paves the way for the government to legally surveil every American citizen, have complete control over your finances and purchases, and have the power to permanently silence any dissenting voices. The Democrats do not want your firearms in this new war on freedom. They're coming for your money, so they're not thinking as small as that. In dispute, Executive Order neither set the stage nor implements any of those significant changes to the American political system. Instead, it outlines the Biden administration's intention to use a multi-agency approach to governance in order to look at the advantages and disadvantages of Bitcoin. The White House claims that the directive focuses on 6 areas. The order outlines a national strategy for digital assets across 6 critical areas of focus: consumer and investor protection, financial stability, combating illicit finance, maintaining American economic dominance and competitiveness, financial inclusion, and responsible innovation. We were unable to locate any wording in Section 4 of the 9-section order that calls for the substitution of digital currency for the US dollar or adopts any of the other extreme, unlawful measures mentioned on the Paradigm Press website. Instead, Section 4 directs various federal government agencies to investigate the advantages and disadvantages of creating central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, for the American financial system, then describe how such a system would be put into practice. For instance, the U.S. Attorney General is obligated to report on whether and what legislation would be required in the event if the federal government of the United States issued CBDCs. In accordance with Section 4's explicit language, if the United States were to introduce a hypothetical digital currency in the future, it would be required to uphold citizens' rights in accordance with democratic values, including privacy protections, and ensures that the global financial system has appropriate transparency, connectivity, and platform and architecture interoperability or transferability as appropriate. The U.S. Federal Reserve stated that the potential issuing of CBDCs would entail the expansion of means of payment, not the elimination of one, namely cash. The Federal Reserve is committed to ensuring the continued safety and availability of cash and is considering a CBDC as a means to expand safe payment options not to reduce or replace them, the agency said. The White House claims that the action is in response to the quickly growing use of cryptocurrencies, with an estimated 16% of Americans, or around 40 million adults, reporting having used Bitcoin assets. According to a White House information sheet on the executive order, over 100 countries are exploring or piloting central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, a digital form of a country's sovereign currency. It's no wonder Fox News recently called this a deeply troubling development. Nevertheless, the majority of Americans are unaware of Executive Order 14067. Because of this, eminent economist and former CIA and Pentagon advisor Jim Rickards have now raised the alarm about this alarming new development. Not only Rickards, but others are warning of this potential danger. Many financial analysts and professionals have voiced worry that this executive order may result in a significant redistribution of wealth from the general public to the government. So, what can you do to protect your savings from this potential threat? One option is to diversify your portfolio and invest in assets that are less susceptible to government intervention, such as gold and other precious metals. Another option is to consider investing in offshore accounts or moving your assets to a more secure location. Remember, being proactive and informed is key to preserving your financial future. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to our channel for more updates and analysis on economic and financial topics.